I need some help.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Joel Clark, a Select Quote agent, with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and he can't take it with him. Well, I went to work and found Ray, who's 40 and takes medication to control his high blood pressure, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. That's way more coverage for a lot less than what he was paying. If SelectQuote didn't shop for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote and to find out how much you can save, call 1-800-885-9500. That's 1-800-885-9500. 1-800-885-9500. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
We're out of the brand name, but we do have the generic version of
Serene's Pharmacy can't keep up with allergy season.
Who's next in line?
They need certified technicians to alleviate the headache.
Ma'am, I'm so
Green Bay
sorry to
Packers
delay.
over the last year to not expect
I need some
that
Indeed
Devontae
can
Adams
hire
would eclipse
great people
that.
fast.
That would be a misstep by
Indeed
management.
you
But I don't
do.
believe that's what
Instant
happened
Match
here.
instantly
And
connects
according
you
to
with
our very own Rob
quality
Domofsky, he
candidates
said
whose
that Green
resumes
Bay
match your
was
sponsored
willing
job
to match
Visit
the
Indeed.com/credit
contract that the Las
and get
Vegas Raiders
$75
gave
towards your
Devontae
first
Adams.
sponsored job.
The only
Terms and
problem is the
conditions
receiver
apply.
had had enough.
Research
And
shows
what
that
I'm
people
trying to figure
remember
out,
radio
Carla,
ads with a
was
booming
it that he
voice
had
that
enough for the
emphasizes all
organization
the
stringing him
points.
along
So to help you
and not
remember
giving him
that
his
Liberty
money
Mutual
sooner?
Insurance Company
Or had he had
customizes your
enough
home
of
insurance so
the
you
antics
only
from
pay for
Aaron
what you need.
Rodgers
That part
and him
is
holding the
super
franchise
important.
hostage
Here's
and
one
in the
with a booming
process
voice.
forcing
I'm
him to be in a holding
emphasizing
pattern for his money?
everything.
The answer to
Liberty
that is
Mutual
yes.
customizes
I think
your
it's
home
both.
insurance.
I
Like
think
a
it's
pig
fully both.
with
I think
every
it's
word
a lot
highlighted.
has to
Only
do
pay
with
for what
Aaron
you need
Rodgers,
at
I believe.
LibertyMutual.com.
If you're him
Liberty,
and
liberty,
you have the
liberty,
chance to go
liberty.
get that same
Ever
money
heard the
somewhere
grass
else,
is always greener
and
on
you
the
have
other
seen
side?
this,
If you're in a
nobody's
dead-end
had a
job, you
better
want
seat to
greener
this whole
grass.
thing than
Well,
Devontae
My Computer
Adams.
Career can help
Really?
in months, not
Nobody
years.
has had
They can
the
give you a
best-
new
better
life as
view
an
than
IT
him
pro.
of
You
how
learn from
the
home by taking
Rodgers
classes
Packers
live online.
dynamic
Financial
has
aid is
played
available
out
for
over
those
the
who
last
qualify.
several
And My
years.
Computer Career
And
offers
I do
lifetime
think
career
that
services,
when
which
you're
helps you find
looking
jobs with companies
at
begging for
a
IT pros.
situation
Go
where
to
both
mycomputercareer.edu
are
today
giving you
and
the
take the
same
free
money,
career evaluation.
and
It's
you're
not
dealing
rocket
with
science. It's
who you know over
mycomputercareer.edu.
and who you know over there, it speaks volumes about who you choose and why. And listen, these two guys were exceptionally close at Fresno State.
Yes.
Exceptionally close. And they're excited to play together. And he knows, especially now, Derek Carr's not going anywhere. And think about where he went and what he has to go up against. He went from the NFC North, which not exactly murderer's row, to perhaps the best division in football that we've seen in 25 years. If you really think about it, and he said, no, give me that. Where we're the fourth best team, give me that.
It really is shocking that we're talking about the best wide receiver in the National Football League saying, I'd rather go play with Derek Carr in the Las Vegas Raiders than stay here in Green Bay, the only team I've ever known with Aaron Rodgers, who is supposed to be the most talented quarterback this generation has seen. That really does speak volumes. But here's who was speaking this morning on Get Up, our ESPN NFL front office insider, Mike Tannenbaum. And here's what he had to say about what the Devontae Adams trade means as far as Aaron Rodgers' leadership is concerned. Take a listen.
That's what leadership is. It's about being empathetic, at times being a great listener. And for Aaron Rodgers, you've made whatever it is, and what you deserve, by the way, well over $200 million. This was Devontae Adams' real meaningful bite at the apple. He should have been there as a selfless leader to say, hey, what do we need to do for you? And again, sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And this is where I was so disappointed with Aaron Rodgers. He didn't have to bring his situation all the way into March. If he gets his deal done late January, early February, now you have a whole month to say, all right, that box is checked. What's the next most important thing? It's Devontae Adams. Go see him, love him, recruit him, and we're not having this conversation.
And that's what aggravates me even more about it, is he said on January 25th, we're not dragging this out. And he dragged it out. He didn't care. He didn't care about anybody else.
Yeah, but even going back to last summer, he was dragging it out.
Yeah.
Remember, nobody knew exactly what he was going to do. There were the rumors that he would retire, he'd go host Jeopardy, all of this nonsense. If you knew that you were going to come back to the Green Bay Packers and you were going to stay there for the foreseeable, and this is where you wanted to end your career, go ahead and give the organization a heads up. Because I understand where Brian Gutekunst is coming from. I get not wanting to pay a wide receiver $30 million if Aaron Rodgers is retiring. You're not going to get the return on investment. You're just not. And so for the organization, it didn't make any sense to give this kind of contract offer to Devontae Adams last summer because you didn't know what was happening with Aaron Rodgers. But the only reason Aaron Rodgers didn't give him a heads up is because he was in his feelings about what the organization did the previous draft in taking Jordan Love. So let's go out to the callers. Again, the Candy calling line, 888-SAY-ESPN. That's 888-729-37.
WYNG 1410 Dayton, Dayton's ESPN Radio.
All right, welcome in.
Jake Kenner, Kev Nash with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. We're coming at you a little late today, of course, as we had to kind of readjust after that Ohio State game. Ohio State advances. Win in advance, that's the name of the game, and it doesn't really matter how the game looks. It just matters who has the most points at the end of the game, right? I mean, a 54-41 hideous final. It wasn't a pretty game, but, any game that ends with a W and advances you to the next round, that's a pretty game if you ask me.
Yeah, this ain't football.
You know how I am with style points.
Yeah, and ain't no style points involved in college basketball. Win in advance. Buckeyes are on to the next round. See you later, Sister Jean. We still love you.
Yeah, so Villanova potentially, again, the next opponent on Sunday. Still no time on when that matchup will go down. We will update you, but again, you can catch it right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Kind of a day of blowouts. Really nothing exciting in the world of college basketball. Texas Tech, which led by 30 at the half, still leads by 30. It's 61-30 over Montana State at 3 versus 14. And there's about 15 minutes to go in that one. Montana State just let it be over, is what they're saying. Let's just get out of here. Purdue up 13 over Yale at 3 versus 14. At the half, it's 46-33. Villanova, Delaware, again, the winner of this matchup will go on to face Ohio State this coming up Sunday. Villanova trails by 3. And a 2 versus 15 matchup right there. That's an 11-8 deficit right there for Villanova. Auburn, no issues there. They beat Jacksonville State in the 2 versus 15. It was 80-61 the final. The 54-41 final, Ohio State over Loyola. Big game still coming later on this evening. Again, Miami and USC will tip off coming up here in just a few moments. Notre Dame and Alabama. Notre Dame getting a huge win at UD Arena in the first 4, knocking off Rutgers in double overtime the other night. They'll have their hands full with Alabama in the 11 versus 6 coming up. That'll be at 4:15 the tip on TNT. Virginia Tech and Texas. Chattanooga in Illinois. Chattanooga, Malachi Smith plays for the Dayton Flyers, but there's also a Malachi Smith that plays for Chattanooga that won their conference's Player of the Year. That was the transfer from Wright State from just 2 years ago. So this is an intriguing matchup in that 4 versus 13. Keep an eye on Chattanooga. I think they could potentially have one of them 13 versus 4 upsets, but I wasn't gutsy enough to put that on my bracket.
Which one?
The Chattanooga over. Oh, I see. Yeah. CSU Fullerton. They'll take on Duke coming up here later on tonight as Coach Krzyzewski will play his very last first game in the NCAA tournament, if you will. Duke, an 18.5-point favorite. Iowa State, an 11 seed, going up against LSU coming up later on tonight. LSU is a 4-point favorite. I think the safest upset of the tournament is honestly the 11 versus 6 Iowa State over LSU. LSU in shambles, already moving on from Will Wade before the tournament even starts. I'd say that that's a program that's not mentally locked in, or maybe that they rise above it, rising above all the adversity going on. But Kev, I'd say Iowa State's a pretty safe upset.
Yes, one or the other. They're either going to play up or they're going to get blown out. It's either or. They're going to blow somebody out or they're going to get blown out in this first game. I don't think it's going to be a close game either way. They either blow somebody out or they're going to get blown out themselves and head back to Baton Rouge.
UAB and Houston. That's coming up later on tonight as well. Houston, a 9-point favorite in a 12 versus 5. Davidson and Michigan State. This is a 10 versus 7. This is an intriguing one. I have Davidson beating Michigan State. Michigan State is only a 1-point favorite, as I mentioned. Where were you with this matchup coming up later on tonight?
I had Davidson because of their ability to hit the 3-point shot and the lack of ability for Michigan State to hit 3-point shots. Michigan State was not very good this season. I think a lot of these Big Ten teams are going off of the regular season, but once you get into this tournament, it's really all about matchups. It's about who you're matched up against. Do you do the things that they don't do well? And Davidson hits the 3 very well, and Michigan State does not. Michigan State was not a good offensive team this year. And I know Sparty, spartaned up in defense and everything like that. But I'm just not buying it this year. I don't think they have enough talent. I think Davidson actually has more talent than them.
Michigan was victorious yesterday. Michigan State again versus Davidson coming up. Michigan State looking to try to help change the perception of the overrated Big Ten in the eyes of most. Ohio State getting a victory, of course. Obviously, Michigan getting a victory. Michigan State's looking for one, and that'll be later on tonight against Davidson. And that's over in Greensville, South Carolina. Another Big Ten team in action tonight, Wisconsin, the 3 seed, taking on Colgate. And Wisconsin only a 7.5-point favorite. I just find that interesting. I expect a close one there in the 3 versus 14. I'm sure you have Wisconsin advancing.
Yeah, I got the Badgers advancing. Thinking back over probably the last 20 years, Wisconsin and Ohio State and Michigan have been the teams that really hold up the Big Ten's end of the bargain in the tournament. I know, obviously, Michigan's they played in the Final Four, been to a couple of championship games. Ohio State's made deep runs and everything like that. But another sleeper team from the Big Ten that seems to always make it to the Sweet 16 is Wisconsin. And Wisconsin normally handles their business versus lower ranked seeds. So I got Wisconsin winning that game.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot, or at least seeing and hearing a lot of extra hate towards the Big Ten right now because of salty Flyer fans, because their team being that last team out, and they're angry seeing all these Big Ten teams in there. And if you can understand why there's this many Big Ten teams in the tournament, I don't know what to tell you. I get it. Just because there's 9 tournament teams in there out of the Big Ten, it doesn't necessarily mean that there's 9 national championship contenders in there. But we got to stop acting as if, that the Big Ten is so overrated that all 9 of these teams don't deserve to be in. That's kind of ridiculous.
Oh, no.
Those
they
teams
deserve
to lose to Lipscomb and those other bad teams. We got to stop with that. But I've been irritated seeing that all day today.
The teams definitely deserve to be in. I think I'm just talking about their performances once they get in there. A lot of these teams don't hold up their end of the bargain and everything like that. Like I said, it's only normally Michigan, Ohio State, and Wisconsin that normally really come to play in the tournament. And in college basketball, it's all about the tournament and how we rate these teams and everything like that. So I'm hopeful that obviously Ohio State runs this all the way to the Final Four and wins the national championship. That would shut a lot of people up. That would shut a lot of people up about the Big Ten. That would shut a lot of people up about Coach Holtman. Shut everybody up. I would love to have another banner at Ohio State in the basketball arena.
No, I get that, but I just think the March Madness is one of those where, you don't not strive to win a national championship, but I don't think that the Final Four of the national championship is the only way to determine whether a conference was overrated or not. The Big Ten, I understand why people get down on it. It's one of those conferences that gets one of the most, they're usually the conference that gets at least the first most or second most teams in each and every year, but they also haven't won a national title since, 22 years, going all the way back to 2000. And that last team to do it was Michigan State. But we've seen so many teams from the Big Ten make the Final Four on a regular basis. It's been a few years since that's been the case. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Michigan was the last Big Ten team.
Yeah, they played in the championship game. Yeah.
So there's that overhanging the conference. But that's one narrative that I'm getting really irritated with is that I'm like, you have a fan base of a team that can't win a bad A-10 conference, but you're going to sit there and rip the Big Ten and say that they're overrated. I'm just tired of these weird things that we do to twist the narrative just to make us help you guys sleep at night. Doesn't work that way. TCU, Seton Hall, a 9 versus 8. That'll be coming up later on tonight. And then the 16 versus the 1, Wright State in Arizona. Wright State is a 21.5-point favorite in that one. And like I said, every game so far has been a blowout. Could that be the theme continuing? Look, I went on Dayton 24/7 now with Nathan Edwards and earlier today, and we were talking about do I give Wright State a chance? Do I give them a shot? And I'm always uncomfortable answering this question because it comes across as I'm disrespecting my own team. But you guys got to understand, it's a 16 versus 1. Do I give them a shot? I mean, they have the same ball that the other team has. They have the same amount of time as the other team has. But it's not really a matter of whether I think that they can hang with them or not. History tells us the 16 usually doesn't have a shot versus the 1. It's not a hot take. It's not me flip-flopping. It's not me turning on my team. It is what it is. And I also know if they lose tonight, Kev, it will turn into, wow, see, you were fake. You weren't for real. See what happens when you play a real team and not a 16. I've seen Dayton be a higher seed that gets blown out by 20 against, worse teams, if you will. I mean, like, we got to stop with this. It's a 16 versus a 1. Do I expect them to win? I don't really expect them to win, but I expect them to believe that they have a shot to win. Coach Nagy was on the Freddie Coleman show the other night immediately after they beat, beat Bryant for their first ever NCAA tournament win. Coach Nagy said he stood in front of the locker room and said, he goes, look, I get it. It's a 16 versus 1. But if any of you feel like we don't have a shot to beat this team, I don't want you on my plane. Mm-hmm. Stay home. Everyone got on that plane. Everyone headed to San Diego. Everyone's going to go in with the belief that they could pull off the upset tonight, and that's all you can. Don't tell me UMBC fans, not one of them thought that they had a chance to beat the 1 seed a few years ago. Do you think that it was St. Peter's last night? How many St. Peter's fans out there said, man, Kentucky, they're overrated, man. We should be seated higher. We know we're going to beat Kentucky. They didn't know they were going to beat Kentucky. They didn't know they were going to beat Kentucky. That's why they're upsets. Not a lot of people expect the upsets to happen. We expect upsets in the NCAA tournament, but we never expect our team to be doing the upsetting, if you will. We expect our team to upset us at the end of the night, and who knows what's going to happen. But at the end of the day, Wright State to 21.5-point dog. Kev, I don't care what the final score is. It will not be an indictment on what they accomplished this entire season. This was a historic season. Don't know what's going to happen tonight. Nobody can. Not one single person out there that has ever been a fan of a 16 seed has ever once said, I know they're going to win, and then woke up the next day and said, I told you. And that includes UMBC, who's the only program to ever do it.
Don't like the matchup.
Nope.
Don't like the matchup versus Arizona. But you know what? Guess what? We're playing. And that's all you really can ask for. You won your conference tournament. You punched your ticket. Then not only that, you end up winning a game in the first 4 that marks the first victory in the NCAA tournament for Wright State. So it's a historic season, like you just said. So now you're playing with house money. And I believe that the guys on the team think they can win the game because guess what? They're competitors. They're going to go out there, give it their all, and whatever happens, happens. No need to hang your head if you lose. But guess what? They're not thinking about. They're not thinking about losing. They're thinking about going out there and competing and coming away with a W. So we're all going to be tuning in tonight at 7:25. I'm going to be locked in. I'm going to have my popcorn ready, rooting on my alma mater. Go Raiders.
All right. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash live here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. The show presented by Brad Mays with Home Experts Realty. Speaking of Brad Mays with Home Experts Realty, if you're looking to buy or sell your home, give Brad Mays with Home Experts Realty a call today. The number to call him is 937-572-7425. Brad Mays, Home Experts Realty, if you're looking to buy or sell your home. If you want to be like Baker Mayfield and you're looking to buy a new home and sell your current home, I highly suggest that Baker give Brad Mays a call coming up here later on tonight when, who knows what's going to happen in Cleveland. Rumblings of potential Matt Ryan availability because right now it seems that the favorite to land Deshaun Watson could be Atlanta. We'll talk about that. The Bengals going hard after a now former Dallas Cowboy offensive lineman. What are the chances that they land him? We'll get to that. How about the shocker last night? Possibly the best receiver in football leaves the NFC and is now in the AFC. Maybe he didn't leave willingly, but he did say he didn't want to stay with his current team. That shakes things up in the AFC as well. Plus, state tournament boys basketball action. The Altar Knights and the Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's. What are they? The Irish?
I believe so.
They're going to be going head-to-head coming up here at 5:15. In fact, once the Reds' spring training game starts, I'm going to be heading to UD Arena to take that in because I just got done thinking I haven't watched enough basketball this week. More of the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash next.
The Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, presented by Brad Mays with Home Experts Realty. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio.
ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather. Showers today with a high of 70 degrees. Overnight, more rain expected, a low of 53. And for tomorrow, the last day of winter, more showers and a high of 55 degrees. And I'm Lorna Stevens for 1410 ESPN Radio.
The Justin Kenner Show with Kev Nash. Presented by Brad Mays with Home Experts Realty. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio.
The Meyer Distribution Center in Tip City is holding an on-site job fair Tuesday, March 22nd from 1 to 5 p.m. and on Thursday, March 24th, 8 a.m. to noon. Warehouse positions available in all units. Includes flexible schedules, best-in-class benefits, starting wages up to $1,860, and a $2,000 signing bonus. Visit jobs.meyer.com. Keyword search distribution. Location, Tip City, or call 937-669-9155. That's 937-669-9155. Meyer is an equal opportunity employer.
My heart was racing just making spaghetti. I could have waited to tell my doctor, but I didn't wait.
I was short of breath just reading a book. I could have delayed telling my doctor, but I didn't wait.
They told their doctors and found out they have atrial fibrillation, a condition which makes it about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. If you have one or more of these symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness, this is no time to wait. Contact your doctor.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I had a nighttime routine for my frequent heartburn. I would drink milk. I would sleep upright with more pillows, but that painful burning stayed. So I made Prilosec OTC part of my morning routine. With just one pill in the morning, Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid production, blocking heartburn day and night. Now I have a new nighttime routine. I call it sleeping.
Block heartburn all day and all night with Prilosec OTC. It's possible while taking Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Timothy's Bar and Grill on Brown Street are huge supporters of the Dayton Flyers. Whether you're one of the 13,000 fans cheering on the Flyers at UD Arena or one of the hundreds of fans packed inside Tim's on game day, there is only 2 places that you can feel the passion of the Flyer faithful more than anywhere else. Timothy's Bar and Grill is also a sponsor of the Justin Kenner Show with Kev Nash in the afternoons and the Talking Out Loud Hour on Thursday nights with Sully. Timothy's Bar and Grill on Brown Street. Go Flyers.
Hey, here to tell you about my friends at Cordell Transportation. They're now hiring Class A CDL drivers and offering a $5,000 sign-on bonus. That's right, a $5,000 sign-on bonus, home daily, dedicated lanes, and no-touch freight. Brand new equipment as well, medical, dental, vision, and company-paid life insurance. Call Cody right now. Apply online at CordellTransportation.com. Cordell Transportation, driven to succeed.
Hi, this is Eddie Sorrell, Service Manager at Germain Honda Beaver Creek, recipient of Honda's President's Award. When your vehicle needs service, we make it convenient. Open 6 days a week, including all day Saturday. We also welcome same-day appointments and walk-ins as well. Our technicians are factory trained, and we offer a new state-of-the-art facility, clean waiting rooms, loaner cars, and free alignment checks as well. Ask for the $99.95 alignment special. Germain Honda Beaver Creek, Route 35, just east of 675. Between Xenia and Beaver Creek.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good, really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless, now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Wait, aren't these all charitable donations?
At Magda's Tax Prep, every person counts.
I'd rather not have to file for an extension.
She needs new auditors to maximize returns on her family time.
On itemized deductions. Hey, can someone help with these 1099s?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well,
Trying to find a needle in a haystack? Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/find. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/find. That's ZipRecruiter.com/find. ZipRecruiter.com/find.
Want to find out what handheld perfection tastes like? Just stop by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken today for a flawless family feast with the 12-piece strips meal at a great price. Get 12 premium tenderloins that are freshly marinated, honey-dipped, hand-breaded, and cooked to crispy perfection, along with 3 large sides, 6 fluffy biscuits, and 4 of your favorite Lee sauces. This is dippable chicken done right. Get the best in boneless chicken with the 12-piece strips meal at a great price. Only at Lee's, famous for chicken.
Don't put it off any longer. You know it's time. Time for a bathroom upgrade by Bath Creations. Bath Creations is a leader in bathroom renovations, providing the very best value in bath and shower remodeling and proudly made in the USA. With Bath Creations, you get a beautiful modern bathroom that's safe, comfortable, and affordable. Attention first responders, veterans, and active military. Save $500 off your purchase right now. Visit Poe Avenue in Dayton or online at mybathcreations.com. And upgrade today.
Weather brought to you by Cullet Propane, keeping utilities simple and families warm since 1952. See how and more at culletpropane.com.
If you are looking to buy or sell your home, give Brad Mays with Home Experts Realty a call today. 937-572-7425. That's the number to call and jump in. That's the number to call him if you're looking to buy or sell your home. If you want to call into the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, you can give us a call now at 937-518-1410. I'm Justin Kinner. He's Kev Nash. Twitter is at 1410Kinner, at 1KevNash. If you want to tweet into the show, you could do it that way, but we appreciate those hanging out with us on Facebook. Search the Justin Kinner Show, like, subscribe, follow along, as well as ESPN Dayton's YouTube channel. How about this? So last night, we all know the fiasco that was the Aaron Rodgers saga with the Green Bay Packers. Well, it was a staring contest of who was going to kind of give up leverage to the other, and it looks like it was the Green Bay Packers who gave Aaron Rodgers everything that he asked for. Aaron Rodgers coming to staying in Green Bay. Had enough offensive firepower to win back-to-back MVPs and still be one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl, or at least come out of the NFC. And now he will not have arguably one of the top 3 wide receivers in the National Football League, Devontae Adams, as the Green Bay Packers officially traded Devontae Adams to the Las Vegas Raiders. How about that? What a very interesting scenario that played out. You would think that, then you start to, I started right away. Well, is this a fallout from Aaron Rodgers getting all of that money? Apparently the Packers were willing to offer more money than what the Raiders could offer him. He still wanted to go. Not really sure. I'm not sure if we'll ever find out what exactly led to this change in mindset, because and based on recent comments that he made before free agency, or before Aaron Rodgers had committed to stay with Green Bay, he was adamant about being paired with Aaron Rodgers, about wanting to stick around with Aaron Rodgers. So now he ends up rejecting the Packers deal, and that's how he ends up a Raider. Your thoughts?
Man, it's so much to dissect here. You touched on it a little bit with, everybody was expecting him to return, potentially sign a franchise tag and then work some things out. And Aaron Rodgers was steadily going on the Pat McAfee show saying 17 does not want to play on the franchise tag, kind of saying like, hey, y'all get the deal done for my guy. Y'all got me done. Now get him done. And ultimately Green Bay matched the offer that he was going to be getting from the Raiders and everything like that. But he ultimately still decided to say, no, I'm going to go ahead, go play with one of my best friends and Derek Carr, my former teammate from Fresno State and everything like that, and go out to Las Vegas. My biggest thing about it is not the fact that Green Bay is losing him, but I don't think that they really dropped that much. I had them third in the NFC, and I still got them third. I got it Raiders. I got the Rams, the defending champs, Buccaneers, and Green Bay. That's how it was before, and that's how it still is for me. I don't know why. I think I should have somebody ahead of them, but I just don't. I just think that they really don't drop off that much. Yeah, he's a great player. I think they would have better chances to win the NFC if he was there, obviously, but I just don't think the other teams have enough yet. I haven't seen enough out of them in free agency. And I guess maybe we'll see something that happens in the draft that made me change my mind, but I still kind of got Green Bay third in the NFC.
Yeah, that one's kind of hard only because of the fact that, Devontae Adams, you got to Aaron Rodgers threw for 4,500 yards last year, and 1,500 of those were Devontae Adams. That's why I can't put them third. Like, I don't understand how this, Aaron Rodgers just got worse because of this. I think it's a huge deal. I think you could take two receivers and maybe be able to regain half of what Devontae Adams was able to provide you. We're talking about a receiver, 1,500 yards. Let me see how many touchdowns he had last year. I don't have that in front of me. So 11 touchdowns. But again, that's 11 touchdowns with 1,500 yards. That was the third most by any receiver in the NFL last year. Now, there's a lot of good teams that don't have a Devontae Adams. There's a lot of good teams that don't have that. But a lot of those teams have a balanced offense. When you talk about a quarterback that threw for 4,500 yards and 1,500 of that was from one guy, I think that's kind of a concern. Will that still put him about the 4,000 mark? Yes, I think 1,000 of those yards could be duplicated with the combination of other guys. And they're not done adding pieces yet. This draft coming up, they got a couple first rounders. They got some nice pieces back. This is a good wide receiver draft. So I think they're going to be able to replace some of it, but not all of it. I can't go as far as that. And I think when you look at the NFC, I look at what the Vikings have done. I think the Vikings just closed the gap on Green Bay with adding more offensive linemen up front. They extended Kirk Cousins. They want to continue to keep him there because he can throw, it's not the most consistent, but he throws for a ton of yards. You have the weapons, and they've been able to add pieces on the defensive side as well. The Falcons move on from Matt Ryan. They could potentially end up getting Deshaun Watson, but that wouldn't be an immediate upgrade, or they wouldn't immediately have him. But I think Washington will be drastically improved, obviously getting a capable quarterback with that defense. But I said the same thing last year when they got Fitzmagic, whatever the hell his name is. But we're running out of time. But we have Reds baseball coming up. 3:50 is when we'll hand it off to Red Spring Training. It's the first Red Spring Training game of the season that we will have right here on 1410 Wing AM. But how about this college basketball news? Archie Miller will make his return to Dayton, not as a head coach or of the Flyers, that is, but as a head coach of Rhode Island. I found this move not really surprising. It had been rumored for a while, and I think it makes a lot of sense. What I have an issue with is all of the trash talk that Dayton fans have been all the trash talk that they've had a lot to say. I'm very shocked at this entitled fan base. Actually, I shouldn't be as shocked, but the mood I'm in today, they're on my nerves.
You're always in a mood.
The fact that they're bashing Archie Miller.
You knew that was going to happen, man.
But that's ridiculous. He did nothing wrong. He's more successful with the team than the coach that you guys have now. So why? And you love that guy. So what the hell did this guy do for you to? Because he took a better job. Oh wow! And by the way, Florida will not take Anthony Grant because they couldn't afford Anthony Grant. So there's that. Otherwise, Anthony Grant would have bolted on you too. So I'm just throwing that out there. Anyways, but yeah, bad mouth and Archie Miller. Archie Miller. The only reason that Anthony Grant was able to come here and take it, continue building the program is because of where Archie Miller had it. Don't be throwing shade his way. You're lucky you had him to begin with. Anyways, we're out of time.
Is Lamar Odom coming with him to play basketball? Because that's the last time Rhode Island was good at hoops.
Rhode Island hasn't been bad in the league the last couple of years. They've had a couple. They had back-to-back tournament appearances with a win in the tournament, but significant. Elite Eight runs, none of that. But UD has, but that's a Cinderella run. Then I see UD fans bashing Loyola coming to the A-10. I'm like, that's another program that has been more successful than you over the last 5, 6, 7 years. So I have no clue what was delusional. Being delusional. Quit being delusional. You have Anthony Grant. You have a good thing going. Stop trashing Archie Miller, who put UD in position for Anthony Grant to come in and do what he does. And then Loyola, you should be glad that Loyola's coming in with the pedigree that they have, although they looked pretty damn bad earlier today against Ohio State. But Ohio State doesn't play teams from the A-10, so there you go. They don't like to go down to that level. Just saying. All right, that wraps it up for us. Reds baseball coming up next. Red spring training right here on Dayton's Home of the Reds, 1410 ESPN Radio.
Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash right here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
Tip off to frickin' madness. When we say tip off, not only are we talking about every college basketball game available, but our new barbecue rib tip.